Welcome. Okay, we are here at the webinar for Rinsky Coaching, the top 4 reasons we wreck our own success. So I will go through the info, and if you have any questions, just speak up and I can answer them. So we all have a subconscious upper limit in our head. We may not even realize it, but I was going for 10 years at a really good career, but like my income would not budge. No matter what I did, no matter how many other jobs I took, no matter how extra I worked, I just sat there stuck at this same income level. And we might have that going on in other areas where we're just stuck at this level no matter what. So what's going on? Well, Hendricks has a book called The Big Leap, and he calls it our upper limit, our subconscious upper limit. So whenever we're working, and we get near that limit, we do something that sabotages our success. So we make sure we keep ourselves below that glass ceiling. Any questions so far?
No, that makes sense.
Oh, unfortunately it does, right? So these are the top 4 reasons or that we sabotage ourselves. Number 1 is low self-worth. Now, I found this one out. That was my upper limit problem, the big one. Why I could not break above that income level, because I went to a coach and I asked her about what's going on, and she said it was a wealth coach. So I was complaining about these wild spending sprees I'd be going on. And she said, well, why do you do that? And I said, well, because I need new things. Well, why do you need new things? Well, because they make me feel better. Well, why do they make you feel better? Oh, to prove that I'm important. And why do you have to prove that you're important? And there it was, bing, because deep in my soul, I felt unworthy. So I would buy all kind of things, get kind of all this debt rounded up, and then not be able to get above this financial level. And that way I was totally wrecking all my finances, proving to myself that I was unworthy because I couldn't even handle this. I couldn't even make more money. And when I bought things, it was just as a way to make me feel better, but we know things can't fill your soul. So it was all this cycle of grotesque misery. So the coach looked at it. She said, we pick up these beliefs like somewhere along the line when we're about 3 years old. So whenever you picked it up at a young age, maybe we can pinpoint exactly when that happened, or maybe we can't. I remember one incident where I probably was older than 3, but like the coolest girl on the block brought me a coloring book page that she had colored. And she said, this is for you. You're the best friend. I love you. And I was just so happy. The cool girl loves me. And the next day, the cool girl came back with a friend on the porch. And she said, oh, remember that coloring book page I gave you? Can I have it back? I want to give it to Shannon. And so it was like incidents like that could make you go, oh my God, I'm a piece of junk. Nobody loves me. So you keep thinking that and telling yourself that story year after year after year. The next thing you know, you're spending all your money and not being able to bust past the income level. So once I realized that, thankfully I was able to get out of that with tools I'll be teaching people at the workshop. And my income is actually growing. Yeah, I still buy a lot
Yay.
of junk, but at least I'm aware and I can stop myself. I've found a few tricks, like don't leave money in your checking account, because then it makes you want to spend it. So put it in savings or pay a bill. So can you recall a message or thought of unworthiness that are still playing in your head? You can answer out loud or you can think about it.
Well, I can tell you the answer is yes, but I'd want to keep it private right now.
Yeah, that's no problem. But yeah, that one was huge for me.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So once I learned that one, I figured, hey, I'm done. That must be my upper limit problem. I don't have to go on. But then I read more about the other three, and I found I had connections in them as well. So the second reason are the rules and roles we get stuck playing. And this too can start from an early age. Maybe you're the good kid or the bad kid, or the black sheep of the family. And one that I made up in my own mind, I'm a writer and artist, and from a young age I always was drawing and writing. And I remember running up to my mom and saying, or it might have been mom, it was another well-meaning adult, and saying, hey, look what I just created, this is great, I'm gonna be a writer and artist. Oh, that's nice, dear, but how are you gonna make money? So right there is the story. Writers and artists do not make money. So my head decided that that's fun and I love doing it, so you can't make money. Therefore, you only can make money doing boring, horrible, awful jobs. So I fulfilled that by taking boring, horrible, awful jobs that were way below my skills and not even in a field I enjoyed, just to torture myself. Now, if you want self-made misery, you'll get it doing that. That was pretty bad. So, also as I'm in recovery now, but when I was drinking too, I was, the the person who always came late, the person who always started trouble. So I had all those roles that I had built up over my drinking career, and I had to get rid of those too if I ever wanted to move forward in success, because you can't be the shining star wonderful if you're the one always causing trouble and the writer and artist who never makes money. So, roles and rules that stick you in a cycle of self-sabotage. You think about any roles or rules you follow, does that one apply at all?
Yeah, I remember that happening in my life. I was in a rock and roll band, thought I'd make money in the band, and then it was like, but what are you going to do to make money? Yeah. So then
Oh, why do they ask us that?
I went off into the corporate world, and that was that.
Yes, yes. Oh my God, I tried that. I almost gave up entirely on my writing and art. And actually, I took a giant pay cut to go into journalism because I was in the corporate world. And yeah, you get paid pretty good. But my creative soul was just being stifled. So I figured journalism was it. And then I moved here. There used to be two newspapers in town, and the one I worked at decided to close. So I was stuck in Tucson with no job, and I couldn't move. My MO was usually just to flee. Okay, I'll go to the next town. But I had bought a house right before the real estate market crashed. So I ended up stuck here, which is what I say God doing for me, what I could not do for myself, because that finally made me go out and do freelance writing and art. So before, I was just comfortable enough in below my upper limit that I would have just stayed there. I was too afraid to move forward, but something happened that made me, and yes, it's worked. So sometimes things that seem like are the worst thing in the world end up to your advantage.
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh, and here's number 3. I told my brother about this one, and he's like, "Oh, who the heck believes that? No one's gonna agree with that." So I wrote a blog about it, and it was one of the most liked blogs of the year. And I just loved shoving that in his face, because he was the good kid, I was the bad kid. Look, I was right. Well, number 3 is fear of success. So, well, why would you fear success? Everyone wants success, right? Well, because we tell ourselves that success could bring more problems, or if we do succeed, we'd have nothing left to strive for, and then we would just have to go and die. We wouldn't have anything to complain about. We'd be doing our dream job. We wouldn't know what to do if we're already doing everything we already wanted. There's nowhere to grow. Maybe that lingering self-worth is still there. We're not sure we deserve success, or what is success? What do I even want? I don't even know. There's a zillion million reasons, and it finally comes back around to the big fear. If you actually try for that thing you want, that big success, what if you fail? So if you stay here away below, blocking yourself from even trying, you'll never fail. Huh. You might be miserable and working somewhere you can't stand, but you won't fail. Huh. So that one obviously a lot of people could relate to. Do you fear success?
It's very logical. I'm sure in some ways I do. I think I've turned down opportunities thinking that, even though I was well qualified for it, what if I fail?
Yeah. Yes. Wow. I was talking to someone the other day and he's unhappy with where he is. So, okay, let's brainstorm some other ideas. And we came up with at least 12 other ways to either expand his existing career or create a new avenue using what he knew. And before the ideas were even on paper, he's coming up with at least 3 reasons why each one would not work. And that's crazy. But yeah, I've done it. I probably still do it in some areas. Whew. So that's number 3. And then finally, number 4. This one makes me mad because our society has come to reinforce number 4. And that is the fear of outshining others. So we're all born with unique talents and gifts, makes us all stand out. Writer, artist over here, rock musician over there, carpenter over there, accountant, great with numbers, or Al, great with numbers. But a lot of people will not give it their all, or they'll give it their all and hide it so they don't bring attention to themselves as how great they are, because they feel, well, this one twists back around to people pleasing. They feel people will not like them if they're better than them. So they will purposely keep themselves mired in mediocrity just so they won't be noticed. So this can come across by people who are very uncomfortable if you give them a compliment, like, oh, that's a nice dress. Oh, this old thing. So they won't even, they don't acknowledge your compliment, and they even negate it by saying, oh, this is just as an old thing I found in my closet. They downplay their talents and abilities. Oh, that was a great violin concerto. Yeah, well, whatever. I was just luck. Or they could pretend they don't have any ability. I don't know. I can't play music. I can't draw. If you try to give these people honors or awards, they're just like, oh my God, I gotta hide. And if they do get an award or a trophy, they'll jam it in the back of their closet, feel like they're being, cocky if they hang it on the wall. Meanwhile, you can hang it on the wall just for your own enjoyment, to show yourself that, you rock. And sometimes they could feel like an imposter doing what they're doing. That one, the imposter syndrome, followed me around a long time. It took a lot of years before I could say with confidence, I am a writer, I'd be like, yeah, I do some writing on the side. And it's all because of that low self-worth mingled with the how are you going to make money, mingled with, oh, yeah, I'm a writer. Whew. But thankfully, I grew out of that through circumstances and working on it, consciously working on it. And then there's the same thing with fear of outshining others. They will actually act less intelligent than they are. And I've seen this happen in like girls that want to be cool in high school. They'll pretend that they're stupid because they think the boys won't like them if they are smart. And it's just crazy, but it's happened. Yeah, so, and how it is reinforced by society started happening several years back when everyone gets a trophy. Oh, you know, just for being alive, you get a trophy. Oh, we can't have tryouts. The kids who don't make it will feel bad. Everyone makes the team. And when I wrote about this, I remember it was a graduation time, and I found the story that the graduates weren't allowed to wear their honor sashes to the ceremony because
Oh
it
my.
made the rest of the student body feel bad.
Wow.
So, yeah. So it's like they, you know, that big mysterious they, the Umwelt, I always say, is just pulling everyone down into this cesspool of mediocrity. Now we're happy. Whereas if you let the people shine, maybe they can act as motivation for others to up their game and to, you know, really show the world what they can do instead of everyone just lazing around in this mediocrity pit. Ugh. So that's a tough one, especially, I mean, I was born in 1970, so I'm glad that I missed, first of all, the social media in my teens, and second of all, this mindset that you will be ostracized or you know, not allowed to be our friend if you are better than us. So thankfully, I'm looking at it more like from over here rather than growing up in the midst of it and having that drummed into my head as a child. I just got drummed in that I wouldn't make money as a writer artist. So the question here, are you afraid to let your light shine? Do you downplay your abilities or duck when you receive a compliment?
Doesn't seem to hit home as much as the first three, but it's there because I know that sometimes if I think someone's feelings might get hurt, I will hold back. So yeah, it's there.
Yeah, wow. So those are the 4 reasons. Just as a recap, I think you got them all though. Low self-worth, rules and roles we get stuck playing, fear of success, and fear of outshining others. All right. Any other questions or comments on anything?
No, that was good stuff, um, insightful stuff. Very much the human condition and very much today's culture.
Yes. All right.